not Sancho's game. Sancho is, and I'm beginning to think that Anthony is similar to that, where they need players around them.
Yeah.
They feed off. Like if you watch Sancho where he plays, he's always looking for someone to lay off, do the 1-2s, create that space, attract players. And a lot of times, when you're playing with the likes of Rashford and Bruno, who are always too direct, he lays it off and he's not getting the ball back, right?
Yeah.
Rashford is looking to shoot every
Yeah.
single time. And I've noticed how with Martial coming back, Sancho's game just lights up, right? Because Martial is also that type of player that he feeds off the people around him,
Yeah.
and you can see there's more fluidity in our creative outlet, and I think that's what Anthony needs as well. Anthony's not a he's not a direct like a Salah type of dribbler. He's somebody who needs that give and go as well. But we don't have that style, and I think that's why I say it as United, we still have an unbalanced team. Because, but you're right. But that's why those players are so dangerous. He was like, even with Manchester United when we had like Pogba. That's one thing that we miss. You need players like that on your team. Over when Pogba was not in his best form, just him being on the pitch. Now that's 2 or 3 players that always had to keep an eye on him, right? Because that give him time and space, you're gonna get destroyed, right? In
Going open.
United, we're lacking that player that
What do you mean?
it's
You
too it's too comfortable.
you
It's
got your
too
Brazilian
comfortable.
magician Anthony.
Actually, you know what? Yesterday's game against Everton was the first time since he's come in that he was actually taking players on, and and he was being
And
productive.
beating them.
And he was being productive, yeah.
Yeah. But I
Because a
mean,
lot of
it's
times he's
Everton. This
taking
is a
them
team
on,
that is
but
about to get
it's not.
relegated.
Sorry.
This is Everton. It's a team that's about to get relegated. Yeah, I wouldn't put too much on Rafinha right
No, no,
now,
I'm not
man.
putting too much on it, but at least I saw something. At least I saw some. At least I
Yeah,
saw a little bit of what we've been asking from him.
I guess. I think Anthony needs more time to adapt to
Yeah, I
what
do agree.
what Ten Hag is trying to do at this Manchester United team. I also think he needs to also calm his head down and adapt his playing style a little bit to what is needed from him from his teammates. Um,
Was this
he
Anthony?
Anthony. He's
Yeah,
trying. He thinks he's been brought on to be the deciding factor rather than being the one to support the team the way Vinicius Jr. Like when Vinny came in, he was taking on too much, and then
yeah.
once he adapted and started becoming a creator, then he became way more dangerous, and then he started scoring more, right? And that's I think is a problem with the wingers is that they think, oh, the era of Messi and Ronaldo has changed the need for wingers, and everybody expects the wingers to be scorers and golasos, and then all of a sudden, Mane and Salah, and
A
and
top goal,
Mahrez,
joint top goal scorers in the
so
league.
everybody is expecting the winger. I'm like, no, guys, the winger's job is to over support the strikers in order to provide that creative spark. And so that's really what's been is really what's been missing there.
And also, I think it's the same stick that Sancho gets, right, with the fans. Because Sancho, people are expecting Sancho to be that winger that you're talking about, right? To be like what we're saying, of just going cut in and shoot. Take on 5 guys, dribble to the byline, cut and shoot, kind of thing. But that's not Sancho's game. Sancho is, and I'm beginning to think that Anthony is similar to that, where they need players around them.
Yeah,
They feed off. Like if you watch Sancho where he plays, he's always looking for someone to lay off, do the 1-2s, create that space, attract players. And a lot of times, when you're playing with the likes of Rashford and Bruno, who are always too direct, he lays it off and he's not getting the ball back, right?
yeah,
Rashford is looking to shoot every
yeah,
single time. And I've noticed how with Martial coming back, Sancho's game just lights up, right? Because Martial is also that type of player that he feeds off the people around him,
yeah,
and you can see there's more fluidity in our creative outlet, and I think that's what Anthony needs as well. He's not a direct like a Salah type of dribbler. He's somebody who needs that give and go as well. But we don't have that style, and I think that's why I say as United we still have an unbalanced team because we have two wingers who are relying on us playing with others. Even when Weghorst is in the middle with Sancho does better, right? Because Weghorst is going to give him the ball, and Weghorst knows he's going to get the ball back. And one of my other things too, I've been very critical, and I think I've been saying this time and time again. And yesterday was very obvious. Was Rashford? Love this kid. He's getting us a lot of goals, but he needs to not be selfish. Like, I get it. You're the man of the hour. You're the man of the season, but you gotta pass. There's so many times that he just gets the ball. Anthony's free in the box. Sancho is free in the box. Bruno is free in the box, but he's going for the shot every single time. And I look at it, and those are the fine margins in games, right? Where, yesterday we broke the record for the amount of attacks in one half, or chances created in one half or in the game. But we only scored 2 goals. One was a defensive mistake, and then the other one was a team goal. Fine. But out of all those chances, we only scored 2 goals, one being a mistake. That's poor. That's a poor conversion rate, in my opinion, right? But it's those little moments. If Rashford could pass the ball more often, we could be scoring more goals, especially now that we need to close that deficit ever since Liverpool trashed us and City. We need to close that deficit. So those are the things that I'm very critical about. And that's why I believe that United is still an unbalanced team.
You know what other thing I've noticed about Anthony?
What?
Every time he gets the ball, and it's not about him is playing. It's really the coaching, or maybe the personnel. Every time he gets the ball, he's by himself.
Yeah.
There's no overlap on the fullback.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wan-Bissaka was good at that. Wan-Bissaka actually, that's when everybody thought he was done, and then he played him for a game, and all of a sudden he was doing. Everyone's like, oh, I guess he's back.
Yeah.
He the same thing with Vinicius Jr. All those type of players, like you said, Rashford. When you can play him wide, you need your fullback to push up. When Shaw was doing that, Rashford was getting his goals.
Yeah.
So you either need to play to their strengths and adapt the playing style with the tactical personnel, or else you need to talk to them and tell them, hey, this is what I expect from you today. And I think Anthony, if you give him that time, he's going to adapt. He's still young enough to not be stuck in his ways as a footballer. He just needs to accept he is not the out-and-out guy. And I think the moment you guys have an out-and-out striker, not Weghorst, I'm talking a Osimhen.
That's somebody who is fit and can play it. Yeah.
If you guys do not get Osimhen this year,
but I don't know if we need Osimhen though. I don't know if Osimhen is the right guy.
Who would you? If it's not Kane, it's Osimhen. Who else other than Osimhen or Kane would you choose?
I'll take Tony, man. Ivan Tony. But even though he's got that case thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Osimhen,
might not be playing football.
Like, the thing with Osimhen is like, I don't want to be that guy that talks about the leagues and he's got to prove it in the EPL. For me, it's just like we've seen what Kane has done. Not the biggest fan of Kane in a sense, but at least he's going to give you goals, right? As long as we fix our midfield, then I think Kane will be a good addition. If we don't fix our midfield, then we're just going to see Kane for England, where he's basically being a cam, trying to create everything and doing everything but being in the box.
That's what Weghorst is doing right now.
Exactly, because we don't have that midfield. Everybody keeps praising Bruno Fernandes. Oh, Bruno Fernandes can do this, can do that. I'm like, Bruno Fernandes, yeah, he's one of those players that he's the only fit and available player we have on that roster. Like, look at Rashford is injured now. Bruno is the person that you can actually plan with him because he never gets injured. That's why he's undroppable. Yesterday he was playing as a CDM yesterday.
What's Bruno's ideal position for you if he starts? Assuming you have Casemiro, Assuming you have McTominay and Fred, you have your whole team available. And I know who your starting 11 is going to be, right? You're going to put,
Yeah.
you're going to play Rashford. You're going to play Martial. You're going to play Sancho. You're probably going to play Anthony, right? That's your four.
Yeah.
And then you're going to do your back, Varane, Martinez, Shaw, I don't know, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, I don't know who you pick. Who sits in the midfield beside Casemiro? Is it not Bruno?
That's why we need to go to the market.
You don't. So you think Bruno
No,
should
Bruno,
not be starting
he
for you
can't be in
guys?
the middle of the park. I'll say his best is probably off the left, like because Bruno needs space. He can't operate in the middle of the park, especially against teams. That's why yesterday against Everton, I didn't think he was the best player on that pitch, but he got the man of the match.
Do you think he's press resistant?
No,
You don't think he can break through a press?
no. That's
Interesting.
why he loses the ball a lot in the middle of the park. He
So
can't.
you
He
think
can't get out
Bruno
of
is a
space.
right? You think Bruno is a wide midfield player?
That's what
Right
I
mid or
believe.
left
Yeah,
mid?
he's somebody that needs. He's like a shittier version of KDB. KDB is the same thing. Like KDB, if you press him, he's useless. He
That's
gets
true.
nullified. That's why KDB always has to be. He's always wide. He's always getting that free space. And obviously, when you're playing against City, they're going to get more space than other teams, right?
That's
That's
interesting.
why, like, if you look at all
Like
Bruno, and
Odegaard.
it's not to, and this is not a witch hunt on
No,
Bruno.
no, no, no. We're
He's
just
a good
trying
addition to the
to.
team. Like, he could be a squad player, but I've said it time and time
Squad
again. He
player.
can't be. You know what I mean? But people get this. Like we play so many.
Yo,
What I mean by squad
dude is a
player?
guaranteed starter for you, man. You just
Who?
put this guy in a squad player role,
Who?
Bruno.
That's what I'm saying. He is because we don't have any other option. In in a functional system, he shouldn't be playing week in week out. I'll use for example Sabitzer. Like people think that squad player means that he's on the bench all the time.
No, he's
Like
on the
we
bench
have
more
so
often
many
than
games
not.
to play, right? That look at Sabitzer. He plays pretty much. He comes off the bench every game.
Yo, Josh,
He starts every other game. That's what we're saying.
means he's not playing the big games. He's not playing Champions League. He's not playing against the top 5, 6 teams.
Not
You're saying,
necessarily.
yeah, of course. Unless somebody's injured, a squad player doesn't play on the big games. Unless
No,
it's a tactical decision, right? Like right now, Jorginho is a squad player. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? He's not starting on critical games. He's not starting in
But
big,
okay,
big
but yeah, he
things.
shouldn't be starting because name me a critical game that Bruno Fernandes has shown up in. Name me
Hey, you know
one.
me. I'm not defending Bruno because
Yeah,
I'm not a
name me
Bruno
one
fan.
that
But
he's
I'm just
shown
trying to
up in,
understand
right?
if
So
Bruno's a squad player, and I understand you're starting you're starting, let's say 9 or 10, 8 or 9 players. Who is that number 9? Who are you bringing in? If Bruno's starting on the bench, let's say you make the Champions League and you're playing in the quarterfinals against Real Madrid, City, Liverpool, PSG, Bayern, or whoever are these top teams across
I'll put
into the land.
Sabitzer in there.
Who are you? You
Sabitzer
would
over
keep
Bruno.
Sabitzer. You would
Yeah.
keep Sabitzer. And then you'd have Casemiro. Are you playing them in a double pivot, or are you putting a third midfield player in there?
You know what? I could do a Casemiro Fred and a Sabitzer kind of midfield. That's what I
You
would
could do
do.
that, and then you'd
Yeah.
have Rashford, Martial, and I guess Anthony.
Rashford, Martial, Anthony, yeah. If Martial is fit. Yeah, if he's healthy. A healthy Martial, yes, I
Right.
would do that.
Okay.
And
Or
the
else,
reason that because
you bring in a new top striker.
yeah, because
Okay.
Fred would give the energy that Bruno gives as well, right? And Fred will give that energy. And Sabitzer has done pretty well in the 10 role too
Mm.
in the last few games. He's done more because he's more composed on the ball.
He is.
He makes those same runs. He goes forward. He's clinical in the box. So for me, he's giving me. I just feel like, and it's not like I think Bruno has his skill sets. He has his skills that could come in handy in certain games. But I just feel the way we're using him and just 90-minute games. I only think the only reason he's playing 90-minute games because he's the only one that the coach can say you're going to be fit tomorrow to play. You're not going to have some, muscle tear. You're not going to have a sore arm. You're going to be fit 100% to play every game. I think that's pretty much it, right? But in terms of trying to build a successful team long term, I don't think he's the guy for that. I'm sorry.
So if I give you $100 million in the summer, Who are you bringing in? It sounds like for you think your team is set. Who are you bringing in order to be able to compete?
I never said it was. I just said
Assuming you
our
make
team wasn't
Champions League.
balanced. Was not balanced. I don't
Yeah,
think we should have
but it
gotten.
sounds like you think. It sounds like you think that your team has everything it needs except for the way it's playing. Your boy Bruno.
No. That's not. He's not the only issue. No, he's not the
Oh,
only
so
issue.
what's the other issue? So okay, so what is the change then? Because the game yesterday, the 1-0
Yeah.
was for me.
Or 2-0. Was it 2-0? Yeah, 2-0. But it was
2-0.
basically one because the first goal was a
Yeah.
defensive error. Right?
So you guys clearly aren't ready for Champions League to compete.
Yeah.
Right? We can
I
agree.
agree with that. Yeah.
So what are you changing? What positions would you want to bring somebody new in to start? I'm not talking about
Squad
cover.
or
I'm talking about
like
somebody
come
who
in and
come in and start. And what would be that system? What would be that starting 11 then? Who you keeping? I'll go one by one. Who's currently starting?
Definitely keeping
Hold on, let me go through it. You're keeping De Gea. That's easy. You're keeping Varane.
Yeah.
You're keeping Martinez.
Oh
Are you
yeah,
keeping
Martinez
Shaw?
for sure, man. He's the first name on that team sheet.
Are you keeping Shaw? Is Shaw your starting left back?
I wouldn't keep. I don't know, man. Lately, Malacia has been getting the job done over Shaw.
No.
But
But
Shaw
are you
is
bringing
Shaw, right?
somebody new in, or are you keeping the left backs you have? That's the question. Are you keeping? So are you bringing
I'll
somebody
keep the left
new?
backs we have.
Okay.
Yeah, Shaw, Malacia, good. I'll
Are you
keep
doing the same thing on the right? Are you bringing somebody new? Or are you keeping Bissaka and Dalot?
I would like to see a new right back. Like Wan-Bissaka is getting the job done. I think Dalot. I like Dalot, but I just feel like
Trent might be available.
No.
I don't. He
It's
won't
not that
come,
serious.
man. I know.
He's not that serious. But I just think we need. Actually, you know what?
That's interesting that you're saying
That's
you
a
would
tough
do.
right back. That's a tough one, man. Because I think I like how Ten Hag is rotating the right backs. I like that. He's playing Wan-Bissaka in certain games where we need to defend more, and then he's playing Dalot in games where we're more offensive. I don't like that. I've actually noticed Wan-Bissaka is becoming better going up front too. So I think he's really learning. Being on the bench for a couple of months, I think that kind of put things into perspective for him. So it's a tough one, and it's a tough one because I think our defensive players are doing well, but I always say the heart of any team is the midfield. And if you don't sort out the midfield, I don't care who you get as a striker, I don't care who you get as a goalkeeper, I don't care who you get as a defender, everybody's going to struggle. I just feel midfield is the heartbeat of a team.
So
And
okay,
that's
so
one thing that
you're
we
right
need
back
to
to
sort
keeping
out.
the same.
Liverpool
It
the
sounds
same
like
way.
you're going to keep your right back the same. What do you do? So you're keeping Casemiro as you're holding mid, right? You don't need to bring somebody new in there.
Yeah.
Between McTominay, Fred, and Bruno, are you bringing somebody else in, or are you going to keep those three and rotate?
That's what I'm saying. We got to bring people in. I don't know who exactly, but we got to bring people in. No, I'm saying we got to bring a cam, like a creative cam.
Who?
That's
Who
good
though?
on the ball. I can't really think of anyone right now.
Okay,
Top of my head.
fine. You need to be okay. What about the
I
right?
need a ball. I need a ball holding cam that's creative, that's off the cuff. We have Eric. Like Ericsson is good, but I don't know if we can rely on Ericsson for like how many games? 40 games. I mean, 40 games a season or more. That's the thing. I think we need two more midfielders.
Okay. Two more starting midfielders.
Yeah.
Starting quality midfielders. Like Bellingham. Would you bring in Bellingham? Would you pay 120?
Yeah, I'll bring him in.
Would you pay 120 million for Bellingham?
No, I wouldn't do the 120.
You wouldn't pay 120? Okay. Just wanted to understand that if we're on the same page.
No, I wouldn't bring in the one. No, not for 120.
And we'll get back to Bellingham.
We need to get away from those big price tags.
We'll get back to the Bellingham debate in a second too for everybody. I just want to get back to this real quick because I'm really not shocked. I'm just really trying to understand the mindset of Man United fans when it comes to the squad that they have. I think we all agree you fixed your coaching managerial issue. You fixed that. Now you need personnel. Rashford, you're up top. Let's say you play in the three up top if you're playing three midfield. You have Rashford, you have Martial, you have Sancho, you have Anthony. Right? Those are your four. right? Those are your four. What do you who do you need to bring in somebody, and how many forwards do you need to bring in?
In terms of forward, I think we just need the one number 9.
Okay,
We have a lot of wingers, man. We don't need more wingers.
thank you. I'm
Like
glad you said that.
we don't necessarily need more wingers. It would be nice to see. Oh, sorry. It would be nice to see a traditional winger that. Actually, you know who? Someone that has really impressed me
Don't
is
say it. You're going
what's
to
his name?
Milan,
I
aren't
keep
you?
forgetting his
You're
name.
going to Italy, aren't you?
Sorry.
You're going to Italy, aren't you?
Ooh, is that a penalty?
You're going to Italy, aren't you? Oh, it's a pen.
Ooh.
I told you Rob
It's a
Holding
pen.
was a liability. I said
Yeah,
it
man.
right.
Still being on top, man.
I said at least Arsenal has their liability with Holding.
Ooh.
Oh, you
Y'all just
missed!
got crazy. Y'all just got. How many penalties is this that
You
Salah has missed this
missed.
season? This is like what, third penalty he's missed this season? Holy man, they need a new penalty taker too.
What is your number? Just to round this up, what is the number 9 you're bringing in?
I guess those are the three options, man. It's basically there's talks of João Felix all of a sudden, but I don't know. I like João Felix, but not for my
No, he's
team. I
not
know
a
as
number
much as I
9.
don't
He
know, man.
needs a number 9 to support him.
Yeah, we need a real number 9. I just feel like all these João Felix, all these guys are basically just we
No,
have too many Rashfords in the game, man. This is the
why?
problem.
Well,
We
the
have
thing
too
is
many
that
Rashfords in the game. These guys are not number 9s, but
but
they're
Rashford is not
being
that skillful. He's not as skillful on the ball as like a Martial or Anthony or even João Felix. The reason why I say you don't get João Felix because you already have Anthony. You can't get João Felix and
yeah.
Anthony. That makes no. You have
No,
two
that makes no
wingers doing the
sense.
same thing, and then you're always going to be losing the ball. Your fullbacks are going to be pissed. Um,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, you need a true number 9, and you know, if not Kane, who would it be? If not Kane, if not Osimhen, who would it be? Because this whole discussion around Man United started with I said Osimhen, and you said you don't think Osimhen is the number 9 you need. So who's the number 9 you need if it's not Kane or Osimhen?
But I just feel like Osimhen has a lot of pace and power. That's my thing with him. But if it works for the system, it works for the system. Like I'm not opposed to Osimhen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not opposed to him.
I don't think
Yeah,
you. I
he
don't.
could be. Yeah, I would say the
He's
top
an
3 is
out and
probably
out
Harry
number 9,
Kane,
eh?
Osimhen,
He's
and Ivan Toney.